Good afternoon, Guru and friends. Today I would like to present one selected work by Nunan in 2013 with the title Communicative Tasks and the Language Curriculum. For this presentation, it will be divided into three outlines. The first is about the theoretical basis of the task-based language teaching, and then the second is about the empirical basis and also research on TBLT, and then the last about the future research. Well, let's turn into the first section about theoretical basis of task-based language teaching. In task-based language teaching, the syllabus content and instructional process are selected based on communicative tasks that requires learners to engage in the outside classroom. Therefore, this approach has some characteristics. Those are: the first is about it emphasizes learning to communicate by having more interaction in the target language. And then the second about the introduction of authentic text. Thus, in this case, the teacher bring authentic text to the classroom as the material. And then the third about encouraging the learners to focus not only on the language but also on the learning process. And then the fourth about enhancing the learner's experiences as important contributing elements to the classroom learning. And then the last about building the link between the classroom language learning and the language activation outside the classroom. Thus, in task-based language learning, not only assign students to practice the language inside the classroom but also outside the classroom. Then, what about the basis of the TBLT? There are three bases of TBLT. The first is about conceptual basis, the second is the curricular basis, and then the third is the empirical basis. Well, for the conceptual basis, tasks are seen as experiential learning and also as programmatic learning. In the experiential learning, it is seen that a cycle process integrating immediate experience, reflection, abstract conceptualization, and also action. It is stated by Kohonen in 1992. And then for the programmatic learning, there are several definitions of the task. The first is definition from Long in 1985. He defined that task is the thing people do in everyday life, such as how to buy a ticket or something like that. It is a kind of task. And then, according to Richard Platt and Weber in 1985, defined that task is any activity which carried out as the result of understanding of language. And then Breen also defined task as a range of work planned which have the several purpose of facilitating language learning. And then the last one, defined by Nunan, that tasks can be conceptualized in terms of circular goals, the input, the activities or procedures, the roles of teachers and learner, and the setting, and also condition under the task take place. Those are the concepts of task-based language teaching. Well, we come into the second basis. It is about curricular basis. Before the development of communicative approach in language teaching. The design of curriculum and material were based on grammatical matters. So the activities of the classroom was driven by curriculum goals specified in phonological, morphosyntactic, and also lexical terms, while the task and exercise itself become the second activities. After the introduction of task-based curriculum, there is a kind of process that is different from the previous one, that put the task as the first activity, after that the linguistic element. There are two differences routes in the design process. The first is rehearsal rationale. In this design, it is based on the question of what is it that learners potentially or actually need to do with the target language. And the second route is psycholinguistic rationale. It is about what are the psycholinguistic mechanisms underlying SLC and how can this be activated in the classroom. Here, Noonan and Lockwood presents steps that involved in the development of pedagogic tasks in 1991. The first procedure here reflect the I try to make a pointer. The procedure here, it reflects the pedagogic tasks, and then this is the example of the activity, and then this is the rationale why this activity are ordered to the student. And then we talk about, so what is the influence of task-based language teaching in the curriculum development? As we know that previously the syllabus design are previously there were distinction between syllabus design and also methodology. In syllabus design, the selection of grading of the content, it is the syllabus design, it is talk about the selection and the grading of the content, while methodology, the selection and the sequencing of tasks, exercise, and also related classroom activities. But in task-based language teaching, those distinction between syllabus design and also methodology has become difficult to sustain. As stated by Brin 1984, that TBLT prioritize to the root by giving priority to the changing process of learning and potential of the classroom. And then in the second section, we come to the empirical basis and research on TBLT. So, what is actually the strengths of the TBLT? One stated here that the strength of TBLT is there is an empirical basis of the research, while another approach or another method, there is no empirical data of it. In this case, Noonan stated 5 elements of task design. The first is about goal, the second is input data and also activities or procedure, and then about roles, and the last is about setting. Now let's come to the first element. It is about the goal. Typical goal statement includes to develop the skill necessary to take part in academic study, and then to obtain sufficient oral and written skills to obtain a promotion from unskilled worker to site supervisor, and then to communicate socially in the target language, and then to develop the survival skill necessary to obtain goods and service, and then the last one, to be able to read the literature of the target culture. And it is difficult to find research about the goal element, but Noonan found Brindley in 1984 that investigated the need analysis, goal, and objective setting practices of teachers of ESL to adults and the reaction of learners to this practice. And then the results shown that this program, in which explicit goal and reflecting the communicative needs of the learner had greater face validity than those of goals were unstated or inexplicit or even did not reflect learner's goal. Well, for the second element, it is about input data. In input data here, the key question is what factors are implicated in the difficulty of oral and written text. Some research conducted by the expert in the difficulty of comprehending listening first were conducted by Brown and Ure in 1983 that found about 2 factors affected the difficulty of listening text. Those factors are the number of elements in the text and also the text type. And then it is similar to the finding research by Anderson and Lynch in 1988 that identified some factors about the difficulty of listening text. The first factors is the way of information is organized, the familiarity of the topic, the explicitness and sufficiency of the information, the type of referring expression, and also the last is about the text type. While Noonan in 1984 find similar element in the difficulties of school text, while Noonan here is find the difficulties in comprehending the reading text, while the previous 2 studies about the listening text. Noonan found that the difficulty of different types of contextual relationship and also the effect of content familiarity. We continue to the activity and procedure element. The key question of this element is what tasks seem to be most helpful in facilitating second language acquisition. In this case, several studies had been conducted by some experts. Those were Long in 1981 found that two-way tasks stimulated significantly more modified interaction than one-way tasks. Two-way tasks here means that two-way tasks in which all students in a group discussion had unique information to contribute, while one-way tasks here only one member of the group possess all the relevant information. And then this is similar to the research or study by Doughty and Pica in 1986 found that require information exchange tasks generated significantly more modified interaction than tasks in which the exchange of information was optional. And then the third study by Berwick in 1988 and also 1993 that investigated the different types of language stimulated by transactional and interpersonal tasks. He found that the different functional purpose stimulated different morphosyntactic realization. And then Noonan in 1991 emphasized that the different instructional patterns stimulated by open and closed tasks. Here, Noonan also emphasized that different level of proficiency level of our student will also need the different kind of stimulated tasks. Here, the program planners and teachers should select a mix of tasks to reflect the pedagogic goals of the curriculum. And then the fourth talks about teacher or learner's role. As we know that learner roles has come up with finding which run counter to the false wisdom of the classroom. Some research conducted by experts, the first is Pruton and Samuda in 1980, that found about learners are capable of correcting each other assignment or each other activity. And then Porter 1986 also found that learners produce more talk with their learners than with native speaking partners, but the learners do not learn each other's error. And then Guest and Varonis in 1985 found that there were advantages when conducting group work to pairing learners of different proficiency level as well as from different language background. So Guest and Varonis found that if we make a group or small group or pair work of our student with the different level of proficiency, it will bear the advantages. And then we come into the setting. The setting here means that learner's configuration. It is about how we form the learner in a classroom activities, whether it is in a group, in a pair, or individual. And then also it is about the environment. In environment we talk about whether the activities are done in the classroom or in the outside. Research related to the setting here conducted by Long, Adams, and also Castanos in 1956 that found about a small group of tasks from students to use a greater range of language function than teacher-fronted tasks. So it is better to configure the student into a small group. And then also the research by Montgomery and Einstein in 1985 found that supplementing classroom tasks with community-based experiences resulted in significantly increases language gain. So the first here, it is study about the advantage of configurating the learners, and then the second here, it is about the environment that actually activity outside the classroom will increase the language gain. And then the last one, we come to the future of the research. So actually, what is the research agenda for the future research of TPLT? Here Noonan stated that the scope need to be developed and extended both substantively and also methodologically. In substantive, the scope needs to incorporate a greater range of linguistic and also psycholinguistic models, while in methodology, the scope of the research needs to be extended by the utilization of the greater range of research tool and also technique. The research that explore the relationship between Noonan also stated that the future research on TPLT should explore the relationship between contextual factors, interpersonal factors, learner's proficiency level, and also pedagogic tasks. And then Noonan also in this paper present the research that combine those kind of element. It is by Berwick in 1988 and also 1933 that explore differences at the level of lexicogrammar attributable to different task type. The different task type here, Berwick differentiate the task into 4 kind of tasks. The first is pedagogical tasks. It is about transfer information through explicit instruction, and then the collaborative tasks. Here Berwick assign tasks of cooperative and also exchange the information freely, and the third task about the expository process. In this expository process, the student know what kind of the process based on the theoretical knowledge, and then also about the experiential process. It is about knowing how about the experience, the knowledge from the experiences. And then the result shown that task types is an important determinant of the lexicogrammatical exponent. And then the second study by Duff in 1933 that carried out a longitudinal case study of a single learner, and then this study investigating the extent to which performance on different types of tasks yielded different types of information on the subject's interlanguage. So Duff here conducted a research based on the interlanguage, and then Noonan emphasized based on the Duff research that the issue of interlanguage variability features for the future research of task-based language learning and teaching. Thus, one more, the future research about TPLT is about the issue of interlanguage variability features. Well, thank you. Those are the explanation, the summary of material by Noonan with the title Communicative Tasks and the Curriculum and the Language Curriculum.